Welcome to Marlborough St Mary's. We're looking forward to welcoming all of you in school very soon. So we've put this presentation together to give you a chance to meet some of the key figures in the school and to introduce you to Marlborough St Mary's. I hope lots of your questions will be answered and you'll be able to get a flavour of what the children can expect when they start school in September. Okay, so a little bit more about the school. Marlborough St Mary's is a two-form entry primary school. The school was formed in 2016 as an amalgamation of the infant and junior schools. We amalgamated on a split site, and then in September 2017 we moved into the present new building. We're incredibly lucky to work in such a beautiful new school. We have a really dedicated group of parents and staff who've been fundraising ever since the school was an idea, and that's enabled us to develop the grounds and purchase state-of-the-art IT equipment for every classroom. When the school opened, the first thing the staff and children did was to work together to decide on a vision statement for the school. And we agreed on Together We Believe, Learn and Achieve. Working together was particularly relevant because of the amalgamation of the two schools. We also chose 6 Christian values: respect, fairness, courage, perseverance, love and friendship. And these, along with the vision statement, underpin the whole of the school's ethos. Each term we take one of the values as a focus for our assemblies and collective worship. Before I go, I just wanted to mention pupil premium or free school meals. With the letter that went home, you should have had a flyer about this. It can be a bit confusing because all of Key Stage 1 children get free school meals, but the school receives funding from the government based on the number of children that are eligible for pupil premium funding. So it's really important that if you think you're eligible, you fill in the application form. We use the money to fund our additional teaching assistants to support the children and our parent support advisor service. And also we contribute towards costs of residential trips, and you also get a free school jumper at the beginning of each year. I've been head of Marlborough St Mary's for 4 years now, and prior to that I was head at the infant school. So I've been fortunate enough to follow the new school all the way from the planning stages right until the present day. We had Ofsted last year. They graded the school as good, so we're working now towards an outstanding in the next inspection. Welcome back to all our existing families, those of you who've got siblings in the school, and I'm looking forward to meeting all the new parents, carers and children in September. But for now I'd like to hand you over to Rachel Palmer, our early years lead, who'll tell you what you can expect for your children when they start in September.
Welcome to the reception department at Marlborough St Mary's School. The aim of the video is to introduce you to our team, the environment and the curriculum, and to give you an overview of what we are going to be introducing you to in the first few weeks of school. My name is Rachel Palmer and I am the Phase 1 leader, and Phase 1 incorporates the reception class and the Year 1 classes. So we work really closely together on the curriculum and planning, and when it comes to the end of the year we're able to have a really seamless transition from reception to Year 1, and the children will be used to going into Year 1 and experiencing the same sort of activities. However, you are just at the beginning of your journey, so let's start there. So I'd like to introduce you to the team. This is Rob in class. I'm Mrs. Palmer, the class teacher, and this is Mrs. Hallett, our amazing teaching assistant.
Hello! Hi, I'm Mrs. Johnston. I'm the teacher in Ren class, and this is my teaching assistant.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Jackson.
We're really looking forward to meeting you!
Hello, I'm Mrs. Kent. I work in the office with Mrs. Greenbank. I deal with attendance and absences. I also carry out first aid, so if your child hurts themselves, they will come to see me probably to get treated. I can also hopefully help you with any parent pay queries that you may have.
Hello, my name's Mandy Howarth and I'm the Special Needs Coordinator for Key Stage 1 here at Marlborough St Mary's. So any of you who have children coming in with additional needs or may develop additional needs whilst they're here, I'm more than happy to work with you and the class teachers to support them at school.
Hi, my name's Mrs. Greenbank and I work in the school office. One of my main jobs is coordinating the new reception children admissions. So if you have any queries, please don't hesitate to give me a call or contact me by email. One of the most important things when you start school is ordering your new school uniform. So this year our cut-off date for ordering uniform is the midnight on the 15th of July. So don't forget to put your orders in, and our main school supplier is a company called Goodies, and you can find their link on our school website. So pop your order in before the 15th of July, and either you can choose a paid for delivery service which will come to you by the end of August, or if you want the free delivery service to school, that will be here around about the beginning of September. Also, another item you need to remember to get back to us is the enrolment form, so you need to get that back to us before Monday the 6th of July. Anyway, we look forward to meeting you all and you starting in September.
Hello there, my name is Mrs. Black and I do all the technical support in the school, and I also teach the children all their ICT lessons. So, welcome to our ICT suite where lots of exciting things happen.
So this is our IT room. We have 30 computers, enough so that no one has to share. And we also have lots of iPads which we use to make movies, create apps and learn how to code and write our algorithms. And as you can see, we have a lovely display of our children's work.
Welcome to our radio station.
MSM Radio, school radio from Marlborough St Mary's Primary School.
This is our radio station which we use to improve our speaking and listening skills. We create radio shows and get to interview people, and we even have our own jingles.
By now you will have received a letter telling you which class your child is in. They will either be in Robin class or Wren class. Whichever class they're in, please be assured that they will be in safe hands. We're very fortunate to have a new school building, so our reception department has an outdoor area which spans across the rear of the classrooms. The children are able to play together and meet their old friends from previous settings at any point during the day. So, what will happen in the first few weeks of school for your children? We will be inviting them in on a staggered entry. This means that not all children will start in week 1 in September. If your child has a birthday between September and December, they will be the first to come into school. We like to do this in smaller groups because it means that we get to know the children better, their interests, and it means that we can then plan for their learning. We like to do some baseline assessments to see where they are and where we can move on to next. This is a huge transition for your children. They will have come from previous settings where the ratios of adults to children are much smaller. They will be used to having more free flow, and once they come to school there will be greater routines and structure. By the end of the day they will soon get very tired. In order to ensure that your children's well-being is high, we talk to them very early on in the year about different feelings. We use this book called The Colour Monster, and inside the book you meet different monsters with different feelings. The children quickly get to know which colour matches which monster, and they can come in the mornings and pop one of their little pom-poms into a jar. If their feelings change throughout the day, they can change that. They soon become quite emotionally literate and able to talk about how they are feeling. So, on to the structure of the day. This is a little bit more tricky to describe in reception because we recognise that all children are individuals and unique, and we try to plan our curriculum to reflect this. We are flexible and creative in our approach. We like to plan activities which will motivate and excite the children, which come from their own interests on a daily basis. There will be times during the day where the children come in and they sit down and they may be led by an adult in a task. There will be other times when they are allowed to self-select. We call this child-initiated learning. At these times they're following their own interests, and it is usually the time when they are the most engrossed. Given that time, children will get deeper and deeper into their play and more learning will occur. You will see the adults in the room often observing and taking notes of the children. They're doing this because they're making short assessments. We use a system called Tapestry to make records of what the children have been saying, doing in groups or individually. We can share this with you on a daily basis, a weekly basis, depending on what's appropriate. Next, Mrs. Johnston will talk to you a little bit more about the curriculum areas and the characteristics of learning.
Here at Marlborough St Mary's and in reception, we follow the Development Matters framework. This is divided into areas of learning. These areas include communication and language, physical development, PSED, which is personal, social and emotional development, literacy, maths, understanding the world, and expressive arts, art and design. We use these areas of learning to help the children develop into curious, brave, resilient children that are able to think and problem solve. And we do this by creating these opportunities within the environment. We set up activities for them to go and explore and investigate their own learning. We use the children's interests to help us develop this environment and to set up these activities. We also really want to promote their well-being. That's the most important thing to us, because if a child has really good well-being, then they are able to learn. If their well-being is low, they are not able to learn. And we do this by using the characteristics of effective learning. These are split into 3 different areas: the playing and exploring, their engagement in an activity, are they staying with it, active learning, their motivation, do they really want to do this, can we make it exciting enough for them to carry on with, and critical thinkers. If something goes wrong, are they able to problem solve and find a new way to do it? All these things will help them enjoy challenge, promote challenge, and prepare them for their future at St Mary's.
Our children eat together in the large hall and are served a hot meal cooked on site every day. Mrs. Morley and her team will be offering you a selection of delicious food which you can choose from on a termly menu. This can be booked through Parent Pay with Mrs. Kent in the office. If for any reason you do not choose the free meal offered, you may bring a packed lunch. As we are a healthy school, we do not permit sweets or chocolate and have a no nuts policy. Children will need their PE kit in school from day 1. They will not be needing any DAPs at this stage of the year, and we will let you know as the weather improves later on. Please make sure all PE kit is labelled. They will need a plain white t-shirt and black shorts. Gates open at 8:45 in the morning. Your child can be brought into the classroom between 8:45 and 9 o'clock. Please don't be any later than 9 o'clock, as this can be quite unsettling for your child when they have to walk into the classroom as the last one. Parents are asked to have left the school building by 9 o'clock so that we can secure the site. Pick up at the end of the day is 3:15. Again, please be prompt, as it can be quite unsettling when mummy or daddy doesn't appear at the end of the day. Gates will open approximately 5 minutes before collection time so that you can be waiting at the door.
So here at Marlborough St Mary's, we follow the Read Write Ink scheme. When your children come in September, they will, after a couple of weeks, be given a book to bring home for pleasure. And they will start learning their single sounds. There are 3 sets of sounds that your children will learn. In reception, they will learn speed set 1 and speed set 2. And when they go into year 1, they will revise speed set 1 and 2 and go on to learn speed set 3. So as we go through speed set 1, your children will be bringing home their very own speed set sound book. That's for you to practice reading the sounds and writing the sounds. Once your children know all of the sounds independently in speed set 1 and are beginning to hear the sounds in words, for example, d or g for dog, we will then start sending home some blending books, which are just single words on a page that they blend together to make the word. Once they are hearing the sounds and they are blending on the page, they will become independent readers really quickly. What we will then do is we will send home ditties, which are very simple stories, and they will start to read those. And then after that, they will bring home a decodable reading book. They will only bring home a decodable reading book when they are ready. You have to remember that in school we teach them to read, and at home you celebrate their successes. We will go into the phonics programme in much more detail. We will hold a phonics workshop so that we can show you what a phonics lesson looks like, what resources we will use, and the progress your children will make. But it is a really good scheme, and we follow it from reception all the way up to year 2 until they are off of the scheme. We also have specially trained TAs because our mantra is to keep up, not catch up. And we have these TAs to help these children to keep up with the scheme. So additional to their daily phonics lessons, they will also have a one-to-one session with a TA. Okay, so just to recap, when your child starts with us, they will be bringing home a book for pleasure. This is probably a book that's already familiar to them, a story that they've heard before. It's really important that you share this story with your child because you are the reading role model for your child. We also have books that we can send home that don't have any words in, because in order for a child to learn to read, they need to be able to decode, but also they need to have some comprehension. They need to understand what it is they are reading. So we send home these wordless books in the first few months so that they are able to retell you the story in their own words. We also have story sacks that have characters, and again these are for traditional stories that they would have probably heard before. Things like Goldilocks and the Three Bears, Jack and the Beanstalk, the Three Little Pigs. For more information on phonics, there is a link on our website, so have a look. It will signpost you to the Ruth Miskin website, and there are lots of resources on there for parents to have a look at. Enjoy! Okay, so we've given you lots and lots of information, and actually what we'd like to do now is just talk about how you can support your child over the summer holidays before you start with us in September. There are lots of things you can do. We've talked a lot about reading and phonics, and actually if you Google Ruth Miskin, which is MISKIN, then there will be lots of parent resources, and in fact there is a link to Ruth Miskin's page on our website too, so have a look there. There's lots of useful resources there, but it's really important that you do lots of fun things. So reading stories, sharing stories, singing nursery rhymes, doing lots of rhyming games. You know, if you start off with a word like rat, can they continue the rhyme, cat, bat, etc. Lots of things like that are really, really good. Physical, make sure you're outside, make sure your children are moving, but really, really try to promote their independence. So things like trying on their school uniform, you know, new school uniform t-shirts, the buttons are really tricky. When you have no time pressure, practice the children putting their uniform on all by themselves, and then taking it off all by themselves. Things like tights are really tricky too. Let them have the time to practice. And a good tip is to buy t-shirts and jumpers that are a little bit bigger, school dresses that are a little bit bigger, to help them get them on and off easily. So really it's all about seeing if they can go to the toilet on their own as well, washing their hands on their own, all those things, zipping up their coats, all these things that they will be expected to do in school. Of course we will support them with them, but the more practice they get now, the better. There is an All About Me book which we love to share with the children when they start school. There's a link to this on our website. Please feel free to fill this in as soon as you can. You don't need to fill it with lots and lots of photos, but some information would be really useful to us and help us to hook the children in September. Using a knife and fork to eat their lunch, we promote that in school. So any practice again that you can get over the summer holidays is really, really good. So what I'm saying is have fun. You don't need to sit your child down next to you and make them work. Just go out and have fun. Get outside, have some fun, sing them some songs, read them some stories, practice getting dressed and undressed, and you'll be great. And we really look forward to seeing you in September. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch our video, and we really hope that it's answered most of your questions. However, if you do have any further questions or queries, please do not hesitate to contact us on one of the class emails.
We are currently putting together an induction timetable, and we will contact you in due course with the details. We look forward to seeing you in September.